Thank you for coming. You heard a lot about ChatGPT in this conference, so I promise I won't tell things that you already heard. I'm Lucian, and I work with a team of search and technologies experts. We build search engines, and we use Elasticsearch and open source technologies. We also develop an e-commerce search engine and a collaborative search engine that's called all.site, that you can find at all.site. I wanted to know a few things about you before starting. How many of you are using ChatGPT? So you're familiar with that. Are you familiar with Hugging Face? Not the emoji, but the AI community. Okay. Very few people. Yeah. So it's not the emoji. Elasticsearch. How many of you are familiar with Elasticsearch, OpenSearch, Lucian, and Solar, and stuff like that? Okay. So the objective today is to see how we can, we will talk about plenty of things. The roadmap is heavy. I will try to demo as much as I can, if we do not have time, I have some screenshots of the demos. But anyhow, I will try to stick to the demos as much as I can and do less of slides. I would like to first thank my team and also my colleague Pietro, who's in the room, that helped with this talk. This talk was first held in Paris at a meetup that's called Search and Data. Yes, I don't know how many of you speak French in this room. Yeah, okay, a few people. Okay, so just very quickly about NLP, and this talk is about search engines mainly, but you will see that ChatGPT is actually coming to search engines. So NLP, it's something. It's a discipline that exists since a long time. So this is why we see so many improvements today, because it has a lot of history. And we have to give a credit to Google for something that happened in 2018, which are transformers. So they were the first to release BERT, which was an algorithm that kind of put the basis of what came afterwards. So we could get there because we have a lot of data. This improved a lot, all the NLP algorithms and all the discipline in itself. We have a lot of hardware, much more powerful today. And we have the transformers, which is this thing that kind of switched the paradigm. Now, a few words about ChatGPT and GPT in general. So it's what we call a large language model. It's based on a three steps training. We moved from supervised training to unsupervised training and semi-supervised training. So this is what made this kind of languages possible. And actually, GPT is not the only language of this type that's there. There are many of those. Those that are highlighted in yellow are open source. So it's not the only one. It's actually, there are a lot of those there, and but it's developing very fast. And GPT was the first one to release something that was publicly available and usable for free by anyone. Okay, for those that are familiar with ChatGPT and are using ChatGPT, I know you can use it in many ways. You can write poems and everything. Just how many of you are using it for things that are here? Text summarization. Okay, like you have a bunch of text and you say, okay, give me the insights. Okay, text rephrasing, and it includes spell checking and translation, like you rephrase a text. Okay, text generation, like you just generate random text. Okay, so you use it for that. Okay, for code, like to understand a piece of code, okay, and to generate code. Okay, so a few people. And other things, like you never use it for something else. Yeah, no. Okay, so when I asked other things, yeah, there were like very few people, because I think ChatGPT is very powerful. You can do lots of things with it, but we will focus on these things, okay? And especially on the first one, which is text summarization, or maybe rephrasing also. Yeah, so just to see that you can use ChatGPT in many ways. When I said in the title of the talk that we will clone ChatGPT, we will actually not clone everything. I will try to show you just what you can do with, you know. So this is everything that you can do with ChatGPT. So you can do plenty of things. You can even like send commands, like call the Stripe API and buy things with it, and stuff like that. But we will not do this. Okay. Yes. Oh, sorry. So let's come back to the. Sorry about that. This is the. Okay, actually broke my. Okay. So I need this presenter view just to be able to click on links sometimes. Yes, so we will like kind of see how NLP got into search. Okay, so it's a long story, because search engines actually use NLP since a long time. Won't get into details of all this, but even in a simple text query like orange juice, there is semantics. Okay, so search engines tried to like figure out the semantics of a text uh, uh, from a long time ago. Yeah, because there are just two words, but they are not just keywords. There's a semantic in there. There's first juice and then orange juice. Okay, in this case, and again, we can give credit to Google again, even though they kind of are kind of behind today. This was what we called question answering. Search engines used to take you where the answer is, but it was like for you, up to you to do the last step, which is like get the real answer from the data that the search engine shows you. So Google like kind of revolutionized this. It was something like, you see, we give you the result already. You don't even have to quit Google. You don't even have to click on a link in the list of results. You have the result right there. Okay, so this is question answering, and this is what board allowed to do. Okay, so this is how we started. And yeah, here's how it gets there. And how many of you are using Bing? You're using Google? Still Google? Okay, you should use Bing. I don't know if you saw the last version of Bing. Do I have it? Yeah. Well, let's just click and open it. Okay. So the last version of Bing is this. It's a chat. It's no longer a search box. It's a chat text panel. Okay, and you can of course search like you used to search before. Yeah, let's try Devox. Okay, it gives you results as before, but if you scroll, then you end up here. And what's here? It's actually ChatGPT behind Bing. Okay, so this is integrated with ChatGPT, and you have also the prompt and all that, and you can even like start and ask questions like when was Devox UK founded? Okay, and you have questions, you have answers like this coming from ChatGPT. Okay, now let's try to reproduce this. Okay, so the the first exercise that we'll do, we will say, okay, let's go to Google, okay, which are kind of left behind, but not necessarily because they released Bard this week, and I mean, it was not scheduled for this demo, but you have bard.google.com that actually does the same thing at ChatGPT, so you can also ask when was Devox UK founded. Okay, and it will do the same thing. But yeah, let's say that if you go like to any search engine, so yeah, like let's try to go to google.com and ask when was Devox UK founded. Okay, so I don't have the answer there. Okay, and let's say let's bring ChatGPT to Google. Okay, let's improve Google. I mean, we take any search engine. I took Google because you know it, but let's try to do some ChatGPT with this. I mean, to improve it. So the idea is that yeah, what I wanted to tell you first is that behind the Bing new interface, it's actually ChatGPT, and it's actually a version of ChatGPT which is a GPT-4, but it's also a prompt, because otherwise it will not be able to respond like this. I don't know if you noticed, but it's not like random text, it's not hallucination. Okay, it's a real answer with references. Okay, so you have here number one, reference number 2, reference number 3. So it's a real answer. It's not like something that that the engine like it did randomly. Okay, and how do they do that? It's actually they are using a prompt, and I learned actually in this conference that there's a new like job that's a prompt engineer. So this is the prompt that that Bing is using. Okay. So just let me find my mouse. So this is the prompt. So it's actually called Sydney internally. The new Bing is called Sydney, and it uses ChatGPT with this prompt that tells, okay, Sydney is a chat mode of Microsoft Bing. It is nice. It doesn't say like things that are offending and stuff like that. If you like kind of follow this thing at the beginning, this chatbot was kind of like offending. It was like it was getting mad and all that if you continue to. So this prompt here actually forces it to be nice. And let's try to do that with Google, as I said. And actually, I will not take this prompt here because it's too long. I did some reverse engineering. I mean, I will take something that's shorter, and we will use this one. Okay, so I'm with ChatGPT this time, and let's put a prompt here that will actually tell. So where are we? I will use 4, but we will use 3 also afterwards. So we'll see that it works also with 3. It works since a long time here. So here is my prompt. I say, okay, web search results. 1, and I give the URL. 2, and I give the URL. Okay. Instructions, provide web search results, give your sources, and then like separate its subjects. And I ask a query. What is a large language model? It will not answer from its database. It will answer from the context that I have been given, from the prompt that I've been given. Okay, I hope this works because I did some copy paste here. Okay, and while it generates, I will show you how it looks in GPT-3. Okay, so this is like an old version. I did the same prompt. You can see it better here, maybe. So this is the prompt that I paste. a search result, like I took the first two results that, for example, Google sent me, and then I gave some instructions. Okay, this is the prompt engineering job. It's a like future job. You should like go into that. And this is the answer that that GPT-3 gave me. Okay, so again, it's not hallucinating. It's summarization. It's just summarization. It took my two first search results, it blended them together, it provided a summary, and it also placed the sources of it. Okay. So yeah, hopefully GPT-4 finished. Yeah, so here's the answer from GPT-4, slightly different, but again, you see the references that are here. And here we cloned Bing, okay? And you can actually clone any search engine with that. You have answers like this on a real basis, okay? So not hallucinating. Okay, I will go. I will try to go faster from now because I have some other demos there. So let's get back to the to the slides that we have here. So I showed you Bing, I showed you Bard. Yeah, so Bard it's actually like coming here, okay, and yeah, you can even ask Bard to write poems. I think my colleague wrote a poem on Devox UK, but yeah, you can. We don't have much time there. If you live in Europe, don't try this at home, okay? Because so I mean Bard, because actually it was released to the public, 180 countries that are ready, I mean, have access to this, but not the countries in the European Union. So yeah, we saw a keynote at Devox UK about like ethics and stuff like that, and I think there are issues with that, and this is why European Union is not included into this, because yeah, it might be dangerous for your data to use this tool. Just like ChatGPT. So yeah, this is the time or never to try this before you go home or activate your VPN if you want to go further. Okay, so let's go back to Hugging Face and Elasticsearch, because our purpose is to do this without ChatGPT. Okay. So let me see if we can go. Just a parenthesis very quickly. When we talk about search engines, this summarization thing and why Google got there was because assistants. You remember the Google Assistant and Alexa and all that. People started to work with search engines in a different manner, which was like you speak to the search engine. Okay, so this was a prototype that we built, and we had the first version with like we were calling APIs on a search engines, and then we switched to Q&A when machine learning was powerful enough. Okay, so this is like, it explains how we did it. If you speak French, you can take a look at this. This is a demo that talks to an e-commerce search engine, and you talk to it, and the e-commerce search engine sends you responses, and it can even like fill in your basket for you. And this one is in English, and it's kind of the same thing. You can find a demo there where you talk with a search engine, and this is like the premises of all this. Okay, now today's search engines work on a concept that's called vectorization. Okay, so you might have heard this during the conferences yesterday and the day before. So summarization is like, vectorization is like you take a text and you try to build a vector representation out of it. So this allowed the search engine to understand what's happening, to understand that you asked for something that doesn't exist in the search engine in that form. It exists in a different form. You asked something that will connect things together. You have entities. You have like maybe the query that you ask is in a certain language. So the search engine can try to understand what language it is and stuff like that. So These are some of the use cases that you can do with NLP in search. I'll go faster with that. This is something which is come in the detail about vectors, because actually vectors existed in search since a long time. But you have the sparse vectors, which were those that are used for keyword search, and the dense vector, which are the vectors that we know today. Now, you cannot take any machine learning model, you cannot take GPT-3 and just integrate it into a search engine like that. Because, yeah, a search engine is not there to write poems or to hallucinate random text or something like that. A search engine is there to give you like factual results. So these are tasks that you can use to that you can integrate into a search engine. So it's like name entity recognition, summarization, which is kind of that one that approaches most like the ChatGPT look and feel. And yeah, so these are the tasks that you can integrate. Named entity extraction is something very important because it allows to like see what's in the text and to see that a word is meaning something. It's meaning a person, it's meaning a date, it's meaning a company or something. Okay, so this model is not the best one because you have Devox UK, which is miscellaneous. It should have been a corporation or something similar. But anyhow, you can also do things like sentiment analysis. You can see if the text is like the speaker is happy or not happy, and all that. You can do classification, which is important for like giving relevance on your search engine. And here we go. You can do summarization. Okay, this is and you can integrate this quite easily today with a search engine. Summarization, question answering. Question answering, which is very important, and this is the first version of question answering where the model will take the text from where it is. So you know that search engines can display what we call a fragment of the text that's matching. So you have what we call the highlighted text there. That will be the text that is there. So let me try to show it a little bit. I'll use another search engine here. Devox. Hopefully it works. So if you say like Venkat Subramanian, reactive programming, let's say. So this is the like the snippet of the document, and actually question answering will take words from this snippet. So this is sorry, let me get back again. We'll take these snippets, which are kind of historical in search engines. The search engines can display the fragment that matches, and we'll extract only the relevant information out from there. And yeah, sorry again. We go here. Oh, we lost the. Okay, I will stop doing that because otherwise we lose time. So this is the first version of question answering, and now the generative question answering, where the model will actually like build a phrase with the answer that you had. Okay, so this is what Bing does. The new Bing does. It will take a search result, and you don't even need to have all the search result. You can just take the fragment that matched, that the search engine is capable to send you quickly, and you extract the answer from there, and then you generate, like you hallucinate around it, and you get a phrase like this with answers. Okay, now how can we like integrate machine learning with search engines? So this is where we welcome Hugging Face. For those of you that are not familiar with Hugging Face, Hugging Face is is an AI community. It's kind of the GitHub of machine learning. Okay, so it's exactly what you find on GitHub. So GitHub is the social networks for developers. You find a lot of projects, a lot of open source projects, and all that. Hugging Face is where you find all the models that you need for your project. So I will like, we do not have much time, so I will try to skip again to a demo directly. So this is how Hugging Face. I mean, let's start from the beginning, because so you can find in Hugging Face a lot of models, machine learning models. They are classified here. So you see here that you have models on natural language processing, and you have question answering, you have summarization, you have even text generation that you can use. And for each one, you have, like, let's take, for example, question answering. You have the number of downloads. So by the way, so Hugging Face is like a unicorn, so it's like a huge company now. You have the number of downloads, so you see, like, you have 1.49 million downloads, and then you can, like, you have the number of likes, exactly like in GitHub. So the GitLab for search engine for machine learnings. Okay. So yeah, this is how we you see that. Just mentioning because they started at Station F, and we are based. I mean, we have our offices there. I will go quickly here. So here's an example. It is in French, but it's left in French on purpose here, because I have an example here where you actually ask the question in English, and it still works. Okay, because it's machine learning, and you can even ask the question with an image, and it still works, because the way the vector search works is like you have a vector representation of your query, and then you can search with an image text, and with a text an image, and vice versa. So anything works there. Okay. Yeah, this is the. I will go quickly on this because we don't have much time. I told you that we will talk about Elasticsearch. Actually, there's the new versions of Elasticsearch can integrate from, I mean, not by design, but very easily Hugging Face models. Okay, so you have to do a little preparation. This is the preparation that you have to do. You have to use a client. If you don't want to use this client because it's it might be some feature might be available only in the Platinum version, and you want to use the basic version of Elasticsearch, then you can like use open source technology. So we have in this presentation some examples on that. So after you do that, you actually end up in Elasticsearch with things like this, where you have actually models here, and you can even test them. So for example, here we tested. We are having fun at Devox UK in London. Okay, so you can test the model just like you do in Slovenian. Okay, so there must be something. Okay, so well, this is the default this is the default model. So you you can take. Let's try something. A lot of fun. Yes. Yeah, okay, so this is English. The text was very small there. Okay, so yeah, you have all that inside Elasticsearch, and then you can use this model. So I'll skip this quickly just to show you some piece of code that you can then place in your application. So as I said, you take any search engine, you just import a model from Hugging Face, and then you can go through the snippets that the search engine returns, times up, and then you just try to answer with the model, and if the score is high enough, you display it and you have the answer to your question. Okay, so I'll stop here because we don't have any more time, we don't have time, but if you want to like dig into some subjects here, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay. I don't know if we might not have time for questions. I would just like a feedback, like what's the return on time invested for you, like 4, 3, 2, like 5. Okay, thank you. So if you said 5, don't forget to like rate the session on the web on the app. Thank you.